Okay, as promised, is another video showing the compound tile system working to allow proper rendering of objects on top of objects. So just to um, demonstrate with a little bit more complicated example than the last video, what happens if you don't use the compound tile system. So I'm going to put a breakpoint in so that I can stop after each tile's been rendered. Okay, so we'll just uh, run through. So I'm just rendering some floor tiles that are just blue objects. They're flat. Okay, and we render one. And then when we come to render the next one, this first tile that's just gone down, that's a full tile. It's got to the top right, it's got blue, and to the bottom right, it's got black. But the next tile that's going to be rendered is the same as this one here. So it's got blue to the bottom right and it's got black to the bottom left. And obviously because it's a square, that's all I can render. So if I just keep running this, you'll see. So it obliterates what was currently on the screen and it does it again. So you get that effect each time because there's no knowledge of what's currently in that location. Okay, you're just writing a tile. There's no transparency. I can't write on top of another tile and like merge them together, which is a bit of a shame, but that's how it works. There's only one location, so you can only set a byte, and that's just a tile number. Okay, so that's a demonstration of it. Now, when I want to try and draw tiles on top of this, which is what you need to do to build up these isometric screens, as long as you've got full tiles, it's okay. So this one that's just going on is a block, part of a ramp, but that one's a full tile. There was nothing below it, so it didn't make any effect, and it doesn't make an effect there. But when I get to this one, you can see that it's got this black, this transparent part, and that's overwriting the blue part. Okay, so you get really quite bad artifacts, and obviously that process keeps going. So what we need to do, and you see what you do is you get obliteration, where you actually want transparency, you end up with black. Okay, so what we need to do is do a lookup. So when we put a tile down, just see if with a base tile already in that location and we put a new one down, what is the effect? So let's turn the system on this time, reassemble it. Let's just make sure we save it first. Run it again. Let's put the breakpoint in and run it. Okay, so this time let's draw the first blue tile. Then we start the next one. Okay, so we're now going to do that same bottom right blue, top left black. But what I'm doing this time, I'm going to check to see what tile's there. And I'm saying, right, okay, so I've got a tile here at this location. If I put this tile on top of that, what should I get? Now, what I want is a full blue tile. So with the renderer using this compound lookup, it's going to look that up and it's going to say, don't put the tile you were going to put down, put this one down instead, which is a full blue tile. So that's what it does. So you get this illusion that it's stitched together. Okay, so if we just look at the, if I could get that to come on. Oh, it's not running, so it won't work. I was going to show you the tile sheet, but it doesn't matter. Just to show you where the blue tile was. But obviously, it only works when MAME's actually running. I don't know why it does that, but MAME only comes up if it's actually executing. So when you're in single step mode, it can't do the user interface. I don't know why they've done that. It's probably a really important reason, but I wouldn't know what it is. But anyway, right, so it's keep rendering. So we get those full blue tiles filled in. So this time we get a nice little path all in blue. So they're all stitched together properly. Okay, when we go and do the second pass and put the tiles on top, that one's still all right. But this time when we do this bottom one, it's going to say, right, well, I've got the bottom corner of a slope where the bottom right bit here is black, but we've got blue. So it's looking up and it's saying, oh God, what tile's that? So it's got a bit of blue there, and then it's got a bit of slope, a bit of sidewall. But I have got a compound tile that does that. So if I do F5 this time, it goes into it. It looks like it's drawn it on top of the blue one, and it does it again with the next one. Okay, so it's actually the tile I wanted to put down was here and then black here, but I've combined it and there's another tile that's been put in its place. So this time when I do it, you'll see that it stitches together. So you get a really nice isometric shape. So you got a ramp going up onto a block. Notice there's no red mark there. There's no red line. That was to save tiles. I would have run out of tiles ages ago if I'd have kept it. So it's a compromise because I can use this as a composite tile for something else. That's what it gets used for. So if I carry on running, you can see I don't get any artifacts now. So I can stitch these together. So these are the cube height ones, which I call double height. And then I can put this big slope down to the blue one, and it'll do it without breaking the floor. Okay, so that's the compound tile system working. So I've verified that. I've had to do some rewrites on it because it was utter cobblers what I'd written, but that's now working. So the next step is to now, I've got some maps defined, and I now need to build the renderer that will process these maps. And I've got to decide how I'm going to do it, whether I'm doing it through calculations or whether I'm going to use lookup tables. But if I use lookup tables, that's going to take up more space, which stopped me having so many levels. So I'm of a mind to do it through calculations. Like I said, this background, once it's drawn, don't have to draw it again, so I don't have to dynamically do it. So I could easily blank the screen. We'll see how long it takes to render. But it'd be interesting to watch it being drawn. A bit like the old Pengo maze. I like watching that being drawn. And they could have blanked the screen off. Instead, they made it a feature. Okay, so that's another bit of progress. Another thing ticked off. Now on to the next thing. Thank you very much.